Okay, I'll give you a tough one. The same way the program, has come since you've left. Would you have had second thoughts about transferring from this situation and the one situation you did transfer from?
I mean,
He's a minute.
Hey, you told me to ask a question.
That was on me.
I mean, I'm from Pittsburgh. I played here for 4 years, graduated. I live here still, so I'm just excited to be here around the guys, the current team, some alumni. It's been a good week we've had so far, catching up with everyone and getting in the gym. So I'm just excited to play and have fun and play back in my hometown. And it's been good to see with Coach Capel and all the staff and the current team. They're looking good, so it's just been a nice little event to get together.
Is it good to see the program on the upswing?
Yeah, for sure, of course. Been a Pitt fan my whole life, so definitely for sure.
Ryan, what kind of the emotions when you walk back in the building? What kind of flashes back?
There are definitely some, I guess, flashbacks, just, talking and reminiscing with some teammates and some of the older guys and current team. But also, I guess just feels normal. I mean, that's where we'd always come to the gym and work out and still doing the same. So definitely a little different, but also a lot of just familiar stuff too.
What have you seen, just because you guys kind of been practicing with the current team? I mean, what do you see from them, and what kind of excites you about that group?
I think they're definitely they definitely play hard. They care about one another. We scrimmaged them yesterday, and it was a good run. And I think they play well together. They play hard. Obviously, it's the summer, so I'm sure they haven't had too much practice yet. But they got a lot of talent, a lot of young guys. It seems like a good mix of young guys, some older returning guys, and I think everyone just looks forward to watch them play this year.
Ron, what's the key to having success in a tournament like this when you guys haven't played a lot together to try to mesh really quick and be able to win games?
I think you're not going to have a lot of time to practice, few days, maybe a week or so, but most of us are playing professionally, and so really just put a few concepts in, a few defensive, offensive principles just to be on the same page. But everyone knows how to play. Everyone is familiar with each other's game. So just try to play hard, play together. And I think the thing about TBT is just have to be unselfish and play hard. If you try to play like a pickup game or just go out there, you're probably not going to do it very well. But if you play hard and have a little organization, I think you can win some games.
Do you have and I know some of your teammates for this are guys you didn't play with, but getting back on the court with Jamel, do you kind of remember his tendencies, how to play with them, stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I think there's three. Actually, most of the guys on the team I actually played against this year. Played against Mike and I played against Nike, and so obviously familiar with their games. And you mentioned Jamel as well, and so I feel like a lot of us have played in the same leagues, either watched each other or played against each other, so pretty familiar.
Where were you playing professionally this year?
I played in Turkey, and I think Mike Young and Nike were also there.
Go back to Turkey after this?
No, I'm not.
What are your plans?
Next year I'm playing in Japan, so yeah.
After spending some time playing professionally in Europe and then coming here and seeing the current Pitt team, what advice would you give them on getting to the professional level?
I think just put the work in. Don't get too caught up on a specific practice, a game, even a season. Just keep your head down, keep working, and if you put the time in and you grind and keep your head down, you're gonna have ups and downs. And the professional basketball is a grind. So if you're mentally strong enough and can, walk out some of the other stuff, you can have a good career.
Ryan, what's it been like for you playing overseas, and you ever stepped back and thought about all the places you've been because of playing basketball?
Definitely. yeah, I've been lucky enough to see a few different countries and travel a lot and do things I wouldn't been able to do. Obviously, everyone's goal, I'm sure the current team, everyone's goal to, play in the NBA at the highest level and stuff. But I think it's important for younger guys to realize the path that they have overseas as well. It might take a year or two to, kind of get a resume, get your feet in the ground a little bit. But once you do, you can really carve out a nice living and, like you said, see a bunch of different countries, places, things you weren't able to experience. But I think Pitt is a great starting point for any career.
What's the passion like overseas for basketball?
It's pretty crazy. I know mostly I played in Spain and Turkey, so both the fans in Spain, there's a lot of sold out gyms, very very high level basketball, and then Turkey there's some crazy fans, some crazy fan bases, some eye opening experiences that Americans maybe not used to, but it can get pretty wild.
Obviously, with a hectic schedule playing overseas, how often do you check in back with Pitt, and how often do you get to watch games at all, especially these past 2 seasons?
It's tough to watch the games live just because of the time difference, but I'm always checking in scores and highlights or on social media. But I usually, in the summer is usually my time to come here when I'm coming here, working out, checking with the new guys, the old guys, the staff, the administration that's still here. So it's been good to do that.
Ryan, how different are you from the 18-year-old kid who arrived at Pitt as a high school recruit?
I think I'm the same, but just really grown into myself. Just more confidence as a player, as a person, and just have a bigger perspective of everything. But wouldn't say changed too much, just evolved, I would say. But like I said, just have perspective and be able to come back kind of circles everything together.
You kind of talked about the passion in Europe, and one of Pitt's freshmen is he actually played European professionally. I don't know how much you watched of him, and Nike and Nelly said that the transition going over there is harder, and they think it might be easier from a European player to come to America. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I would say so. Because over here, you're gonna have the best facilities, the best staff, the best nutrition, all the resources at your disposal. Where especially if you're just starting out in your young career, you're not gonna have all those amenities. And so for a European guy to come over here, I think when they have all those amenities at their disposal and to use their knowledge of the European game back here, I think it's a little bit easier. Although, of course, both ways you might be a little, homesick. But I think it's much more difficult for an American kid who's used to this type of stuff and then have to go somewhere and really be on your own. And forces you to grow up quick. But I think it's one of the best experiences you can have.
Anything stand out to you about Ansel playing against another?
That's the Bosnian kid.
Yeah.
I was actually in the weight room with him earlier. It just seems like we talked a little bit about European basketball, but definitely just it seems like the pace he plays at, his knowledge. Some of the coaches said he was on it from the jump, from the first practice. He didn't look like a normal freshman, so he looked good yesterday, and I just wish everyone the best of luck.
You thought about what you're going to do with your share of the million?
I don't know about that. Let's just focus on winning these games in Pittsburgh, and then we can worry about that later.
All right. Thanks, guys.